Right, you all ready? Set? Cool. Now, we get to level 2 this week.
You got some more Mario?
Oh, wow. Maybe something different. And we're going to look at the...
You have some computer games already?
Well, you'll see. There's finish off. I thought of some other trading patterns actually this week. Just I added some more in, and I'm just showing how I mark up charts. So I've learned to mark up charts and all the indicators that I use. And remember, it's just a game. All of this is just a game. A bit like Sonic. Going around collecting coins. Not getting hurt. Picking those coins. Boom. That's halfway anyway. It's just a game. Again. How do I go? It's a bit like Mousetrap as well. Trying to get past all the obstacles, all the pitfalls without getting stuck in one of the traps while collecting all your coins or your cheese. Cheese in a mouse case, I suppose, eh? So, a bit more on the patterns that I've added on from last week. I have to do something with this. So, this is really just basically how we find market leaders or how we find VCP setups. Because a lot of people think you have to, you only buy when price has gone down. But actually, if you look at Tesla, and this happens for a lot of stocks, your Tesla went up near 500%. And from there, it went up another 100%. So even if something's gone up 500%, especially if it's a market leader, for me, I'm really interested in that. That's what I look for. I don't look for stuff that's gone down. Stuff that's gone down, there's a lot of selling pressure above it. So I stay away from that. I'm looking for stuff that's gone up, and it's buy higher and sell higher, basically, rather than buy low and sell high. It's buy high and sell higher.
I have a question.
Yeah,
which trading platform you're using?
So I use IG.
IG.
And basically what I do is just spread bet. So I don't really buy. I look at spread betting as it does everything really. I can buy shares, but I can short shares. I can buy indices. I can short indices. I used to be able to buy crypto until they changed the regulations. I'm waiting to become a professional trader, and I can trade crypto again.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just like spread betting because you can short everything, and it's more of the game then.
Spread banks?
Spread betting.
Spread betting. Okay.
And in the UK, I'm not sure what it's like in Germany, but it's basically all tax-free in the UK. So it's cool.
Yeah,
if you learn how to play it, then you laugh it.
Okay, let's see.
And like I said, it is just a game. If you were to give this, if you had kids with no beliefs put onto money, they'd be amazing at this because it's just a game. So prices have fallen. This is I have a feeling this is not sure what this slide was now. Price has fallen about stock crypto. A selling pressure above and can keep. Oh yeah, that's it. So this is what I was talking about. It's like if you buy, I won't buy anything like this because it's gone down loads. There's so much selling pressure above at this level, at that level, that like if you try and buy it down here, you might get a little rally, but you're more likely it's just going to fall back on you. So that's why it's like buy high and sell higher. When you're trying to find the bottom of this, it's like trying to catch a falling knife, you just cut yourself like forever. So this is stuff I'd completely stay away from. Whether I assume there's a lot of people who love to just try and catch a falling knife. Oh yeah, it's cheaper, and they keep adding to it, and you're just creating more pain for yourself. So then this was trying to find the market leaders when you get like a bottom, right at the bottom of the market. So this was Netflix in 2008. And as you'll see, Netflix actually bottomed in the 27th of October and the 20th of November. But the NASDAQ only bottomed after Netflix did, on the 24th of November. Then it actually bottomed again on the 24th of November, where Netflix had nearly had probably about 80% gains by that point. So that's how we find market leaders. Something that even if the NASDAQ is going down or S&P, whatever it is, you find that Netflix or it'd be Tesla. I wouldn't be surprised next time we have a huge big crash. Watch out for green tech stocks like Tesla and wind farms and solar farms, and so like that's just, for me, that's going to be the next market leaders really, and all the tech that comes with that. And you go into cryptos as well, eh? Now, what have I pressed here? I pressed the wrong button. That's better. So, marking up charts. So really, this is just getting into the fundamentals of it all. And this is where we look for support. So there's a few areas we get support down here at the bottom. But there'd be a band. There's also support at this level. So there's actually when price comes down, there's a band of support that price will come in and fluctuate within. But there's actually, this is something I learned, that there's actually a line. So when I draw all my support resistance lines, it's actually finding the line that connects to as many troughs, in this case, when you're drawing support, connects to as many troughs as possible. And that would give you the closest support line. And that, for me, it helps me so much to plan my trades and when to enter. And especially when you're coming near to a breakout, you'll see that price will go next to these lines, and then it bounces off and goes. There you go. There's just another representation coming from all the way over here, just all the way through, hitting different troughs as it makes it, as you make your way through. This is quite a hard one. There's quite a lot of ups and downs and ups and downs. So it's really, once you get a good dissection of that. So for me, once that would be a perfect place to put a trade on for a short for this. If price breaks through that, that'd be a great place to enter, and you can put a stop above here. That's what I would do. But that's what I have done. So we've got resistance. Resistance is the same basically. You've got a max resistance line at the top, but then you have a band as well. And this band price sort of fluctuates in between this. And it's remembering that, because even I probably still do it now. I look for a price. I'm like, oh yeah, it's going to go from there. And then I forget about the upper range. So again, putting this, that's the wrong way.
That's something I've been guilty of before, making my stops too tight.
Yeah.
Getting knocked out, you know.
It depends if like for me, I'd make my stops really tight now. My stops are maybe between 2.5% to maybe 4%.
Okay.
And but so for me, it's really on. I found the timing Do you know what I mean? It's like if I'm timing it right, then and I've got all my if I got the mean averages in the right place and I've got my support and resistance line in the right place, then it's the timing. And for me, what messes up my timing is the FOMO, eh? Like the fear of missing out.
Mhm.
And then for me, that's what helped me so much. I'm like, well, where's the fear of missing out coming from? And then for me, that's why I've gone deep into the psychology and the fear of missing out. There's a lot of contradiction in our beliefs around money and ourselves. And you think of it in this way: if you've got beliefs of money, that money's going to give me safety, money's going to give me security, money's going to give me power, I don't know, whatever we've made up, then that's going to give you the fear that, oh, I need to make money because it's going to make me safe and secure. So there's an impulse in us to make the trade rather than just waiting. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And it's really, that's what I like. Yeah, we get to that at some point and we figure out like, cool, what's going on with the beliefs around money? What's going on with beliefs around myself, and what the fuck did my parents teach me about money? Because once we work that out, then that changes everything then. So yeah, and then it's the same with drawing a resistance line. It's getting as many peaks as possible. So all the way from over here's one, here's two, here's cutting through that. And you've got one here, one here, one here. It's cutting through that, one here, one here. And again, if I went the wrong way on it. Well, I was going the other way on this. I went long on this because I was like, oh, it's breaking out of resistance here, but then it came straight back in. So if I was on the other way, I could be like, oh, that could be quite a nice trade to short that as it broke through and have a stop above the top. But it's probably not the best to settle there. I like to wait to see, like we've got a bit of a build up here of candles. For me, I like to wait for the build up. When there's a nice build up and you get an idea that it's gonna go down, then I go for that, or it's gonna go up. For me, I always look for the build up. The build up's really, really handy. It's in trend line. So this is gold at the minute, and I'm really liking the look of gold. That's probably why I put it in it. So for me, the trend lines, and this really helps to show like the VCP just building up. So this on gold, I haven't got the time frame here, but I have a feeling that's probably going on for the last 3 to 6 months, something like that. And really now price is really starting to contract. And this is because what we've got here, it's only hit 1, 2, 3. So it's only hit this baseline down here 1, 2, about 3, 4 times. But you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I always find is usually around about the 5th or 6th time price hits a trend line or resistance or support, whatever it is, that's the time it'll break. So because we've got inflation, everything rising in a minute, and gold is obviously good when inflation's going on. I'm looking to, well, I've already got a small position in here. I'm looking for it to hit this and break out. So I'll buy it again when it breaks out of here. So I love trend lines. Trend lines really help me to when to buy and where to have my stop. It's like here, this is the NASDAQ. So if you're just drawing a trend line here, once it breaks, you've got a perfect entry and the stop below here. Same with here, eh? This is just ether. So there's a big, strong trend line back supporting this, and it's only hit that once, twice. So I have a feeling that's ether's probably going to keep going for a while. If it does break that, if it breaks this trend line, it's gonna go, I would imagine. But you've got these trend lines here where it just breaks, off you go. And this is what I was looking at the other day, actually. I think I've got a better image in a minute. but you can use this for helping. You use trend lines for helping you buy. You've got this trend line coming all the way down here. Price has gone up. It's supported on the trend line. Then for me, I'd be waiting for it to break that. If it can break that trend line, either go up, you can buy it on the break, or when it comes back down and retest that trend line, you could buy it there and off it would go. The trend line's really, really handy. But then we've got resistance turn support. So as I was just talking about then, so we've got a resistance line here. Then what happens, like in this trend line, in this uptrend, price is broken out, off it goes. So you could buy it here, or you can wait for even more probability is to wait for it to break out, come back down, wait for it to retest that. Once you get support there, you could buy it there, have a tight stop beneath, and off you go. Or if you've got confidence, you could buy it as it goes out, have a stop there, wait for it to retest. You could buy it again as it goes up, and then you could buy it again as it goes out here. So you could have 1, 2, 3 buys if you really want to create a big position in it. That's the way I look at it. If there's something I really like, I'm like, oh, cool, I'll buy it here. Or even if I'm being quite aggressive and I do really like it, I could buy it down here. I could buy it here. I could buy it here. And then I could buy it here. It's just playing around with the position sizes. Something I want to go over next week.
Are you also following the news for these companies?
No,
Or
I don't.
stocks?
What I've learned is the news is built into charts. So news, I follow like when like the news dates, because there's no point in buying like a day or two before a news date, because you can get quite a fluctuation on the news date. Like it might go up loads, but it might go down. There's just loads of games being played. So I just know the news dates and see what it does. If the news is good, then yeah, I'd wait and see. I look at the price action more. The more I've looked at the price action, the easier it's, the less I have to do. I'm more about doing less. I know a lot of people love to look at all the stuff, and it's like, I just want to do less, and the less I've done, the better I've done.
But because in the past I made my best decisions based on news. Actually.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. Some people do make their best decisions on the news and like the fundamentals and stuff like that. And I suppose I used to, but I've just seen it in my normal life as well, that I've taken all the news out of my life so much easier. And it's been the same with me in trading, really. I just look at the charts. The charts tell me everything.
Okay, let's try it.
Yeah.
I've never done that, analyzing with the support lines and so on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. It's really it helps. It helped. Yeah. So much. And we can have a look at it at some point. I don't think I've added into this, but what I was gonna do was put everything together, because there's quite a lot of. You've got the support and resistance. You've got the trend lines. You've got mean averages. There's
And what's the period of time you're looking at here? Like,
So
is it a month or 3?
So in a minute, this is just daily. This is just
okay.
yeah, this is just daily. But that's another thing. You've got time frames as well, eh? But as you'll see in a bit later, but even the time frames, you get the same patterns in 5-minute time frames to 2-hour time frames to daily to weekly. It's actually really just knowing the patterns, and it tells you so much. And for me, if I see a VCP, I'm like that gold one. I'm like, oh, cool. I like the look of that. That's cool. That's what I look for. I just look for VCPs, basically. It's at the minute, it's hard to find VCPs because we're near the end of a market cycle, and a lot of the big tech stuff seem to be rolling over, and it's coming to the end of a cycle, eh? That's the way I look at it. But when at the beginning of the cycle and midway through, you get lots of VCPs, and you can just buy it and make a nice 10, 20, 30% move in sort of 2 or 3 weeks. And that's what you want, really. You can make huge gains. You do that. You can make 100% a year easy by finding 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% as long as you got your position sizing right. you can make loads of money. There's another one of the resistance turn support. I don't think I explained it that well on that one. So the resistance turn support. Oh, I did a bit, didn't I? So it's, as you'll find, there's this big resistance line here. The price has broken up above it. It's come down. It's tested it. It's tested it sort of once, twice, 3 times, 4. And as you see on the 5th time, it's gone through. Then it's tried to get back out, and then 6, boom, down it goes. Then so it's really, if you look at that again, it's like a VCP as well. It's like the volatility is just contracting and contracting and contracting. No, it goes.
What means VCP?
Volatility contraction pattern, and it's basically from Mark Minervini. So I studied a lot of his books, and I was on his. He's got an MPA platform, which is really, that's why I learned a lot of the stuff from, basically. And he was like the US investing champion. I think he probably was last year, and he was back in 1990 something or other. He's just really good at it. He's really good, and that's why I've learned from, really. To do with other, there was so all the support and resistance and everything. I learned that from trading with Rainer, and then I just picked up different bits here, like loads of different places, really, and just brought it all together.
Nice.
So again, this is resistance turn support, and this is just a perfect example of that. Price goes up, breaks through resistance, hits another resistance, goes back down, retests that resistance turns into support, and off it goes. It just does that up and down. Even if you were just using support and resistance here, you could make a bit of money, if you traded for 2 days, you or just kept it going. It's interesting, but it's understanding the yeah, it's just there's loads of different techniques with trading, and it's interesting. People will have one strategy, it might work for a bit, and then it stops working, then they go on to the next one. But you just got to stick with your strategy, and just because the thing is with trading, your strategy will work at some point, but then the market's changed and it might not work then. So it's actually figuring out, it's like, oh, when the market's like this, I use this strategy. When it changes, oh, I've got to change it, adapt it slightly. But it's not always that easy at the beginning.
And how much of the stocks are you watching on a day?
I don't look at it too much. If I've got like I bought or I shorted quite a lot of stuff on Friday, so I looked at it a little bit today. But I basically have a watch list of maybe 20 stocks that I'm looking at. And I look at the indices as well. So I have all the stocks, and I'm basically just looking for the patterns. That's the more I've looked, the more I've do it, I'm just looking for the patterns. Once I see a pattern, and I know that a lot of tech stocks have been rolling over recently, I'm just looking for stocks or shares and markets that are rolling over. Because my best trades recently have all been short. So it's like, I think I'm just going to keep shorting, because that's been my best. It's just been working for me. So I just look for stuff that's rolling over. It's like, oh, that looks like it's, and you'll see in a minute, there's stuff to look for that shows you that stuff's rolling over, or if it's an uptrend or it's in a downtrend. There's just things to look for. Once you see it, it's like, cool, that I like the look of that. Let's just monitor it, eh? And then
what about moving your stop, George, when you've got confidence that it's going the direction that you hope? Yeah. I guess you're quite happy with your plan that you might not need to move it.
Yeah. Well, think of it, and let's say for example here, I think this was square actually, but just think of this in a way. Like, let's say I shorted it. I did actually. Let's say I shorted it here, and I have my stop here. Because think of this: if I timed this perfectly, then I would have sold it here, have my stop above here, or just above here probably, or even let's say above here. It gives us a bit of room, and it went down. Next day it went up. It retested that area, but then shot back down. That will give me a bit of confidence that, oh yeah, this looks like I'm in. And then it's gone down, it's come up, and then so that was support before, it's gone down, support has turned into resistance, then backed off it. And once it broke that and price gone down there, once that support line had been broken, that would probably be when I would move my stop to break even then. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like I'm safe, I'm sort of safe there because price has done what I thought it's going to do. It's gone down, gone back up, tested support, it's now resistance, and it's broken through this support. And that'd be like, yeah, cool, I'm safe now. I can just let it run.
Because I guess if you move it too early, then there's a chance you get knocked out, isn't there, in the retest? I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Wait for once you're looking at support and resistance lines, I'm always looking for support to be turned into resistance. Yeah. And if I'm going the other way, if I'm going an uptrend, I'm looking for resistance to be turned into support. That's telling me that, oh, it's in a downtrend now, or it's in an uptrend now, and it's going to keep up, making higher highs and higher lows, or it's making lower lows and lower highs. If that makes sense. Once you get that concept in your head, it's like basically in an uptrend, I'm just looking for higher highs and higher lows. In a downtrend, I'm looking for lower lows and lower highs, pretty much. And that's what this has done here, eh? And it's done it in a sort of a big, that here you've got it's done it all the way from here, actually, if you look at it. So that was your high, then you got a higher low. No, hold on, I always do this. So that was your high, so that was a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, but that was pretty much the same as that, so it still counts. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Do you see what I mean? Even that is doing, that's, you can say that start off the downtrend there. But it's, like I said, I always look for build-up. So this was a lovely build-up here, and always look for something to make the turn. So you could have, you have your support and resist, you have your support line there, but then it's like making the turns. Once it's broke that, it's turning, and price is going to go then. Does that make sense? Yeah, always try and look for stuff making a turn, and it will make the turn this way. So if you think about it, like even this coming down here, you could buy it there because you think it's going to make the turn and go up, and it did. And then it's come down. Yeah, cool. It's retested the support line, and off it's gone again. Then you don't necessarily always need to buy at the bottoms of these things. If you're looking to buy, you just find where is it going to break. And same here, right? It's made the turn, and boom, you could buy it. That makes sense.
No, that's true. I think it's the psychology of everything that's going on, isn't it? That's
yeah. Honestly, as I said, like the mechanics of it is 30-40% of it. 60-70% is working the beliefs out. And it's the beliefs about, there's all the beliefs about money and all that stuff. That's a lot of interesting stuff. Then it's just the beliefs about ourselves as well. Once I've cleared that and changed it, oh, it's easy. It's like, oh, it's like, it doesn't bother me if I lose any money anymore because it doesn't matter. It's a fucking game.
The money game.
It's the money game. It's just a game of life. It's hard with trading because we're gonna we have to just accept that we're going to lose money, but we use the tools to make sure we don't lose a lot, and we can fight another day. And it's like, wow, then what? And even for me, one thing that really helped me was like actually just doing it full time. Like that told myself, oh cool, I'm a full-time trader now. And it changed everything because my mindset changed. It's like, oh, I have to believe it. Because that's what I am now. I'm a full-time trader. Before I was half energy was trading, half energy was doing building work. As soon as I changed that, everything changed. Then I was like, cool, I'm selling my house. Cool, I can use the money for trading, and that helped even more.
No.
That's resistance turned support. So it's looking for that as well, looking for a right resistance and just seeing it. Ah, cool, it's changed there. It's come down. Oh, it's changed again. Oh, it's changed again. It's changed again. It always, and it's not always that will. When you're in a downtrend, an uptrend, when it breaks through, the spike will not always retest that last resistance line. Like this one tested that resistance line, so it's looking for where it is. I said it's a bit of a game, a bit of a fucking puzzle, and being like, oh, there's resistance over here. Oh, maybe it's going to do that, and just seeing trying to work out what's going to happen before it's going to happen. Because when, let's say, if you're buying it, you're selling it here, you don't know what it's going to look like because it hasn't happened yet. You've got to visualize in your mind, like, oh, all right, if this happens, I want it. I have a feeling it's going to do this. It's going to go down and it's going to do this. But that's why if it doesn't do what you're expecting, you're like, oh, cool, I'm going to get out. And don't worry about getting out because it hasn't done what you wanted to do. If it hasn't done what you wanted to do, then, oh, I might have got something a bit wrong there. Well, the markets have just changed. Or something's happened.
So would you let your stop be your mechanism for getting out, or would you just pull the plug before it hits your stop?
I use my stop a lot, but if something's not working, I don't like it, I just get out. Or what I would do, if I'm not really liking it, it's not doing what I'd like, I might sell half and just de-risk it. Yeah, it might even make my stop slightly a bit long, not tighter, probably give it a bit more space just to have a see. But if it's still not, I'm like, I'll just get out. I can have another go another day. It doesn't matter, does it? Because a little fucking 4-year-old, he wouldn't give a shit. He'd be like, yeah, doesn't matter. Don't matter to me. I haven't got any weird beliefs around money yet.
Are you also buying options on falling courses?
No, I don't. I haven't really got into options or anything like that. Like I said, really just spread betting. So I basically bet on stuff going up or bet on it going down. It's the same as buying stocks, really. But it just works slightly different. And I use margin, which I like margin because it's nice to borrow other people's money, to make money.
And do you take in the trade counts or the ratios and share ratios and so on, like the companies are giving you to you every day?
Oh, like the dividends and things, you mean?
Yeah, no, not dividends. How can I say? Let's see. There's always some numbers to take in when you buy stocks.
Oh,
let's see. I go on a website where.
I know what you mean. What, like the fees and whatever? Do you mean like the fees it costs to buy?
Not the fees.
Fundamentals, is it? Market cap and profits, is that?
Yeah, market capitalization or something like this.
Oh yeah, that stuff. No, I used to. When I first got into it, I know what you mean. I used to do all the ratios and blah blah blah. But then, so I first got into it with the naked trader, and that's what he'd do. He'd find the market capitalization, he'd work out how much profit a company was making, and he would buy his stocks on his ratio and a few other different criteria. And then I read Mark Minervini's book, and it basically was completely different to what the naked trader was saying. So I'm like, it doesn't fucking make no odds really with these ratios and shit. It just meant I had to do less. So again, I just look for the patterns. If there's a pattern there, it's like, cool, that's all I'm after. Because for me, it's if it's setting up how it should be setting up, for me, that's already a market leader, really, because there's institutions buying it and holding it up. As I said, the chart tells you everything, basically.
I also looked at the 52-week performance on the courses when I traded.
Yeah. like I said, this stuff I did used to look at, but I don't know if it's got lazy. I just like doing less. I just like doing less for more, and it's so much easier. I don't have to worry about it. I just like, oh, that's a nice chart. Cool. I just wait for the right time then. It's got so easy now.
Yeah, my investments I made was mid to long term mostly.
Yeah, mine did use it. For me, again, it depends on the market. If it's once we have a massive correction, then I'll probably invest in some companies and try and get in and hold them. But at the minute, I'm just trading, even though I'm still I'm investing in shorts, if that makes sense, because they're just going down for ages. So I suppose I am investing. I'm just holding shorts really. Because they're going down for a long time. Like I had Square and Peloton, and they went down for weeks and months. It's like brilliant. That'll do me. Same thing, just making money on it going down. I like that.
And are you using some of these professional algorithms for analyzing?
No. I'm run through this other stuff. You'll see what I use. It's not. I don't use a lot. And I'm getting to a place now. For me, I'm getting to a place where it can be 100%. Every trade would be 100% because, as you know, if I'm connected to the quantum field and I've dissolved all my fear, then trades are just going to come to me, eh? Because that's what I'm calling in. And I have to just trust and surrender to it. And the more I'm doing that, the more it's working.
Nice.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be complicated and hard. It's like, this can be super easy, which is fun then. Because it's a game. This is for me, the more I'm seeing it like this, I'm like, what the fuck are they doing in their offices? Stressed out. This is just a game. This is a simple little game. Let all the kids do it. They would show them a thing or two, I'm sure.
Yeah, but lots of people in offices have more responsibilities for other people. So if they're doing shit, they get wasted.
Yeah. And then they go and get wasted after.
Yeah.
They've created it though, eh? We create everything in our lives. Right, so anyway, that's resistance turned to support. What we got after this? So it's sort of the, again, so this is, I was just looking at ether when I was putting this together yesterday, and I was like, you're using the trend lines and the support and resistance lines all to, you can actually use this to make a trade, eh? You've got your trend line coming down here. You've got the other trend line coming down here. So prices come down, it's broken that trend line, then it's come up, then it's found support on that trend line, and it's come up. It's making a little like build up here. So if price breaks out of this resistance line here, that could, if you've been quite aggressive, you could buy that there and have a stop underneath here and wait for price to break out of this area here. If it breaks out this area here, you could then buy it again. So buy it again there and wait for price to come out. Then it would retest. Once it retests and went off, you could actually buy it again. That's what I was saying earlier. You can actually use the support and resistance and trend lines to help you buy and when to place your stops. They're really, really handy. And even if you were to use that, you could probably do quite well. It's just remembering that once price breaks out of resistance, afterwards look for it to turn into support. Once it turns into support, you've got safety then, and off it's going to go. If it doesn't and it fails and it comes back, it's like, oh, that's given me some red signals. It might be time to get out. And again, just support, resistance, and trend lines. So you get the trend lines. This was on the S&P 500, and just the trend lines making a channel. And again, if this was all you're doing, and you start the channel quite early, and you were just buying as price came down and retested the trend line and the support line. Because if you think you've got double buyers coming in here, you've got people that buy off the trend line, then you've got people who buy off the support line, and then off it goes, boom. So a lot of people just buy it down here. That's where you get that big engulfing candle here. Then off it goes, and you could sell it once it comes up to here. That's why people are selling. People hit the other trend line and sell. Then they just made that quick run. Same thing, up, then it sells. People hold on, and next time down it goes. It's almost more when you look at it like that, it's really quite mechanical and quite a game. And think of it in this way, because there's a lot of computers that are involved with trading, but the algorithms and everything for that are basically built on triangulation, and because it's the humans that have come up with the maths behind it all. So it's probably not that complicated when you look at it. I haven't seen one, but I'm just seeing it from this and like, oh, it's actually it's a game. The more I look at trading, it just more becomes a game. So indicators. This is what I use. Again, I don't overcomplicate stuff. I just try and keep it nice and simple. And this is a candlestick. So this helped me loads, actually, understanding candlesticks, because I used to see all these candlesticks and was like, I don't know what the fuck what does all this mean? So once I got into it, it made a lot more sense. Then you can actually use candlesticks to help you have an idea if price is bullish or if it's bearish. And
open and close means the market open and close on the day, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It opens, closes, you get your high and you get your low, and then you get the wick in between. So they're actually quite simple, but once you understand it and you know the powerful candles to look for, it's so helpful. So these are engulfing patterns. So the one on the left is bullish. Basically, this is over 2 days. You got price opened on the first day, closed all the way down, and then the next day opened and buyers came in and pushed price all the way up, engulfing the last candle, and that's really bullish. And you could buy from that. You could buy from the top of that and have you stop below that. Obviously, you want to see that pattern with the rest of what had been going on, maybe for the last week, 2 weeks, a month.
I have to look up what's bullish and bearish in German.
Yeah. Bullish is going up, really. Bearish is down, if you think of it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Bullish is strong. Bearish is weak.
Okay. Got it.
And so it's the same deal on the other side. This is the bearish engulfing pattern. You have on the first day, you have quite a strong day by the looks of it. Opened here, closed here. But then all the sellers just came back and pushed price all the way down. Again, you need to look at it in context with what has been going on with price. But yeah, it's really helpful to see, especially if that's at the top of a peak. Then you're like, cool. I might use that to help me. But then I always like looking for these. These are really helpful. If you get a hammer, like price opened here, went all the way down, then buyers just came all the way in, pushed it past the open, up past the close, and that's really, really, really strong. I love seeing big candles like that. Like most often you could just buy on the open of the next day and it will go up. And then same with the hammer. Opened here, buyers came in, and then sellers pushed it all the way back down. It's a really strong candle, and it's love finding those. And this is the same. It's just it's a doji where price didn't come past where it opened, it just went to the same bit. So it's just the candle just stays black. but these are bullish, these are bearish.
So there was no movement on the day.
Not really, but I suppose the one thing is that buyers on the left-hand side, buyers came all the way back in and pushed it back up to near the open. So it's still bullish here. A lot of buyers came back in, and on here, again, sellers came in, buyers came in, and more sellers came back. So it's like, what happened at the end of the day was sellers were in charge, I suppose. So it's just be like, oh yeah, you're more than likely going to get more sellers to get on the back of that the next day. So these, yeah, I love finding these as well. These are cool. So you got morning and evening starts. So the morning start is like one day you got sellers came in, push price down, then you get a bit of indecision, people are unsure, and the next day buyers come back in, push it right back up. It's really, really nice to see that. And the same here. Buyers come in, indecision, and then sellers come all the way back in. So again, you'd be looking to buy off of that. Or even, let's say, for example, the next day, buyers come in a bit, and then when sellers come back in, you could buy it off there, and then you put your stop above the low. And then we've got the tweezer. Again, it's self-explanatory, really. On the first day, it opened, came all the way back down, then all the way, oh yeah, then closed here. Then the next day, price opened here, all the way back down, and then all the way back up. So it's the buyers have completely come back in. And same with here. Buyers came in, pushed price up, closed. They came in again. Once it opened, buyers came in, and it came all the way back down. So sellers are in control. So this really helped me actually. Looking at the candle sizes. So this is something I found that as you're in an uptrend, you'll see that there's a lot of green, strong green candles are in control because it's in an uptrend day, and you get some red bearish candles, but they're quite small and quite minimal just because there's a bit of a breather, and then off it goes again. But once you start noting this changing, like this was PayPal, and this change, you had a lot of, like this was the high up here, and then there was obviously a lot of sellers coming in, and I took that sort of, I didn't short it when I would have liked to, but I remember seeing it was like, oh, there's a lot of sellers coming in here, and yeah, you've got a few runs up here, but you had more sellers coming in here, and it's the big sellers, and it's like, and if you think of it as well, that's the price over time. It starts rolling over. That was a high. That high was basically the same. And then after that, price started rolling. So I was looking at the candles. You're looking at the candles there, looking at price over a period of time rolling over. And then the mean average starts rolling over. It's just, the thing is with trading, we like to look at it and be like, right, I need to make money now. It's actually when you start looking at the chart and watching it, it's all about it round. If we could look at this nicely, we're looking for stuff to round off, really. Mm-hmm. Once we see it round, we see bigger candles coming, we're like, oh, everyone's selling off. Something's going on here. It just gives you a few clues to be like, oh, okay, I might not want to buy this anymore. That, and obviously we went through last week with the stages, so like 5. Once you see 3 or 4 stages or 5 stages of a market, you're like, oh, it's getting near the end anyway. So you can look at that. You can look at the size of the candles that are coming in, and you look at them, the 200 daily moving average starting to move around as well. Like you're starting to get 3 or 4 signals or identifications, indicators to tell you that, oh, something's changing here. People are starting to get out. And that's what I've been looking at recently. It's like, oh, I like it. Keep getting out. So yeah, this is again the indicators going up. There's lots of strong bullish candles going up, and you get a few red ones here and there, just as it's taking a breather. People are taking profits, but it just keeps going, making its way up. There's a larger quantity of bullish candles than bearish. And on the downtrend, you're getting the same thing, eh? You're getting a lot more bearish candles to your bullish ones. It's just sort of just getting an eye on that and be like, okay, it's giving me an idea to what's going on. So the daily moving averages, these are really handy. This is what I use loads. I use the 200 daily moving averages, 100, 50, 20, and 10.
These are lines you can create from the program, or what is it?
Yeah, so it's the ones I use is a simple moving average. You get a simple moving average and you get an exponential moving average. I don't know what, they just put different lines in different places. I just use a simple one. That seems to work for me. I always find when there's been big sell-offs, that price will come down to the 200 daily moving average and bounce off. I've seen that quite a few times. And as you'll see on here, so I use the 200 daily moving average. If the moving average is going up, that's confirming it's in an uptrend. And if it's going down, it's confirming it's going in a downtrend. So if, let's go back one. Where's it gone? No, wrong way. So if I'm here, really, you could short. It's up to you. You could short if you're in a bull market. I wouldn't short a stock when the 200 daily moving average is going up. Once you get into the end, when I've been looking at shorting stocks, it's really, I'm looking at the 200 daily moving average. It's just, you can just see it starting to turn, as in to PayPal here. You can see that it just started to roll over and just started to turn, and you can look at the other indicators. You've got 4 or 5 stages. You come into the end of a big bull market. You see that the 200 daily moving average is just starting to turn over. That gives you an idea. It's like, oh, I might start to short now. It's not definitely giving you confirmation, but it's like you can use it. It's just another little indicator to help you, to give you a bit of an idea of what's going on. You just get I suppose for these things, after time, you just get a feel for these things, eh? Because you play around with them. You'd be like, but if it's in the strong uptrend, the 200 daily moving average, I wouldn't short it. And same with this. If there's a strong downtrend of the daily moving 200 average, I wouldn't go long on it. I wouldn't buy it because I'm going against the trend, eh? And you'll see, like, a lot of people use the moving averages to buy. You've got if it's in a strong uptrend, you'll find that price respects the 10 daily moving average a lot, and it will respect the 20 daily moving average. And also you get the 50 daily moving average. So this for me is a selling indicator, because a lot of people use the 50 daily moving averages to sell. Basically, if price goes below the 50 daily moving average, people get out, people sell, and it's happened there. And you see it on the second time, it's respected that a loads, and then it's sold off loads from there. It's tested it once, tested it twice, and on that, people are like, oh, it's not going, I'm out, and off it goes then. So look for the 50 daily moving average. It's really helpful to use that as a selling indicator, because I've done that a lot when price has gone up loads and then it's sort of tailed off. It's got to the 50 daily moving average. I sell then. It's just people use it a lot to sell. And also, so bunching. So if you're in a good market and you're getting VCPs like this, is really, like, price is really contracting, like, you'll find that the moving averages really bunch as well. And then once they bunch and price contracts, then it breaks out, off it goes, and then the moving averages start to expand and open up. just looking for these periods. It's just these little indicators which help you, just help you and give you an idea of what's going on. And if it's nearly time now, it's time to make a trade, all right? And if you're slightly early and you buy here, for example, cool, you're only 3 or 4 days off before it goes, eh? But these things give you a little idea to just help you time your trades as well. And again, same thing. Oh, volume. So this is what volume you can use as an indicator. And this is what I got this from Mark Minervini. This is what he uses loads. So you've got the volatility contracts. You've got a big spike in price. Price went up loads, and there's a lot of sell off. Then you get the price contracts. You get these mean averages contracting as well, but you also get volume contracting. You've got a big volume up here, and it goes down and down and down and down. And just then, as it's at its lowest, then it starts to expand again. So volume expands, as so does price, and off it goes. So that's another simple indicator I use. Same deal. This was on AMD. Same thing. Price contracted, and volume contracted, and then off it went again. And then time frames. So I find time frames really interesting because you get the same. You get the same. Like this is a daily move. This is a daily time frame of AMD. Then you've got the 2-hour time frame of AMD, and as you'll see, like price restricted at 10 daily moving average here. But if you're looking in the 2-hour, you've got the price respecting. What would that be? I have to work out. That would be the 2-hour. Would it be the 2-hour? 10. What would that be? 10 daily moving at the 10 2-hour daily moving average. 10 2-hour moving average. That's what it'd be. I never even thought that before. Yeah. So you just see it it respects these lines. So we can use that as an indicator to buy and to sell. It's just really handy to use.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's just getting a feel for these things. And even on the 5-minute, I know this looks a bit messy, but you've got like this here. It's like a VCP there. This is on 5-minute time frame. So you actually get the same patterns on the 5-minute time frame. Price contracts and then boom, off it goes again. So once we see these patterns and learn these patterns, we can use it on all the different time frames. We might end up being a day trader where we make 100 trades a day or something, where we use the 5-minute or the 1 hour, 1 minute time frames to make trades. I wouldn't. It seems like a lot of work. There's a lot to do there. I'm all about less, but it really helps me to. I always use the 5-minute time frame because it really helps me to time trades. And if you'll find at the open, especially like in the UK, it's 2:30 when the US market's open. If something's really bullish, you'll find. I think this was at 2:30. Buyers just come in straight away, and if you can just jump on the back of that, have your stop. If you wanted to have your stop really tight, you could have it really tight because you're expecting this just to go off. It's playing around with these things and getting a feel for it, really. There we go. This is what I was talking about, that VCP. You've got volume contracts, volatility contracts, and then price, boom, shoots off. And so does volume. Off it goes. It happens everywhere. It's just knowing what to look for. Once we know what to look for, it makes our life so much easier then. Oh, here we go.
I know that game from my youth.
Wicked. Level 2 complete. Questions? Any questions out there? Check your questions at me.
Yeah, this has to work in my head now.
I guess you look at the daily charts and then work your way down to the smaller time frames to kind of, or
yeah, so
you go the other direction.
Yeah, use them. It's interesting. I sort of just, and there's probably more I could put on moving averages. It's interesting when you're looking at. I actually look at all the. I have all the moving averages on, and then on each time frame, I just look at them. Sometimes I will scroll through and go like monthly all the way down to 5 minutes, and just see what's going on and see where the moving averages are. Because you'll find that sometimes on a 3 hour chart, there might be a mean average that is just slightly off, or it's above where your price is, and it might be just above your stop. You'll find that price will go and to seek this fucking moving average, it hit that moving average and go back down. So once you see that, you're like, okay, I'm just going to move my stop above that moving average. And then a lot of times it just bounces way off it. It's once you see it for what it is, it's like there's just all these games built into the fucking system. And you see it like that, and you're like, oh, fuck's sake, it's just a little trap there. Some fucker's trying to nick my money. Basically, because that's all it does. It's like there's all these traps and games, and like you get the false breakouts and shakeouts. It's like that's there to get naive traders who don't know what they're doing. There's a lot of people who haven't got a clue, and these things are just programmed in to shake people out, to make money out of them. And it's good. Sometimes it's really good if you've seen a pattern and you've seen 1 or 2 shakeouts. You're like, oh, this is good. This is quite strong. Because usually after the 2 shakeouts, the third one it's going to go after the second one. So if you timed it and you come across a chart and you see that, you're like, oh, cool. It's about time to buy now. So for me, it's, as I said before, it's been so important for me working out what charts and the patterns and to see it and be like, okay. I've just looked for charts all the time now and patterns. It's made life so much easier.
Yeah, it's I guess a lot of people kind of listen to a lot of the news. It kind of it's distracting. That's what they want, isn't it? The more.
Of course it is. And what's going on in news isn't what's going on. And what made me see that was the people who drive the markets with the real money. They're just creating a game. They know when the next crash is going to be.
Like the traders of high volumes?
No, like the money with the people with big money, the big money players. They know when the next crash is going to be. That's what I believe. They're just sucking everyone into the markets as they always do. This isn't the first time we've had a bull market. It won't be the last.
Yeah.
Like they suck everyone, especially as they keep printing money. Cool, let's suck some more printed fucking money into the market. Say, let's suck it. Let's suck Grandad in with all his money under the fucking mattress. Let's get him to put it into stocks and shares. Because it's only when people don't know what they're doing, they start buying at the end of the market. Then you start hearing taxi drivers being like, oh, yeah, you heard about this share, you heard about this, that, and the other. And thought, yeah, cool, I'm going to start shorting, thank you. I'm going to do opposite to what you're on about. And that's when it's really, really helpful to trade. Because I used to invest to begin with. And then the more I got into trading, it's like, I don't need the market to be in a bull run. It can be doing whatever, and I could still make some money if I need to make some money. Because you understand the game then. I don't need to invest for 10 years to make some money. I can invest for like 5 days and be like, oh, Christy, that's kept me going for a year. I don't need to do anything for a year. Oh, cool, I work 5 days. Don't need to work for a year now. in theory.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like, oh, that's when life gets a bit more exciting, eh? And more freedom. And that's when, for me, trading has become amazing. It's like, oh, it's
what have you done
tax-free.
before you traded? So what was your profession?
I was working, well, before I did trading, I was doing building work. But before that, I was in Aberdeen with Darren doing the oil and gas industry as an engineer.
And what was your start capital for trading in?
I started, so when I left the oil and gas industry, I bought a house, renovated it, and I remortgaged my house and had 20,000 basically. So I took £20,000 out and just played with it really. And I made 20,000 into about 100,000, then made 100,000 into 13,000. And then I was like, something odd's going on here.
Yeah.
And it was all to do with my psychology and beliefs, basically. The more I've worked on that and figured that out and changed the energy and the beliefs, it's like, oh, it's easy now. It's a game. It's I can play. And like I said, that the more I see it, the more it's going to be like, every trade I'm going to do is going to be successful. And even me putting that intention out there and believing it, it's going to happen because it has to. It's happened all the way through. Since when I became a full-time trader, I was going to be a full-time trader. I believed it, and I did. And I sold my house and put the money into it. I believed I was going to make money doing it, and I have. So I'm like, oh, cool. Then every trade I'm doing is going to be successful then, isn't it? It has to, because I believe it. And I know it will, because I've put the intention out there. It's just my energy. As long as my energy is in the right place, it happens. If my energy gets into some weird place, then it might change. But I'll know it then and be like, okay, I need to change my energy. Or there's a weird belief going on.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
No, it's cool. No, it's cool. I like sharing. It's interesting.
I guess it's good as well to take a little bit of a breather if something works out for you as well, isn't it? And as opposed to kind of getting straight back into it.
It's hard because it's fucking addictive. Mm. I'm the same. Well, as soon as I made money, we've got to be fucking grateful, eh? Once we made some money, let's just be grateful. Like, fuck, cool, I can be grateful for that. But if our beliefs are money gives me safety and security, I need to make more because I need to be safe. I need to be more safe. I need to be more secure. It's an illusion. It's not true. It's not real. Because once we're safe and secure inside, watch the trades come to us without us even doing fuck all. We're a safe space for it to come to us then.
So you've done these presentations and stuff, George, and you obviously enjoy kind of running people through your kind of thought process and something about, I don't know, what's your plan for kind of the future of all your trading stuff?
My idea in a minute is I want to help homeless. So my idea is to get the homeless, start changing the mindset and then show them how to trade. It's going to be hilarious. If you're like, look.
The homeless will be the kings of the future.
That would be so funny. I would love to see a homeless person be like, right, this was you 6 months ago. Come on, let's go and change your mind and just learn this.
Change your homeless into the financial minister.
Yeah, it'd be well funny, wouldn't it? But yeah, I suppose doing this is part of, even just sharing this, it's actually quite huge for me, just getting for so long, my voice was like hidden. It was whatever happened, trauma, going through growing up and through teenage years, through fucking secondary school, through uni, through whatever, like my voice was hidden. I just used to go along with the crowd and do what people say. And now I'm like, I want to do what I want to fucking do. And just even by doing this and speaking about it, it's actually really, there's a lot of fear that comes up, eh? it's partly me working for this fear, so I want to do this in front of a lot more people. I wanted to go onto stages and talk about some shit because it'd be fun. I love being around people, but I was programmed to be scared and to be separate and to be isolated, and I'm changing that now.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people think that it's for you have to have some special skills to do all this kind of stuff, and it's
as I'm seeing, less is more. You just get a feel for it once you work out the little techniques and the different indicators and things and the mechanics of it. Once you work out the mechanics of it, that's easy. Honestly, that's the easiest bit. It's the mindset, it's the beliefs. Understand what happened in our childhood changed everything for me. Changed everything. It took, to be fair, it hasn't even been 2 years. It took me, well, how long's it been now? Maybe 18 months. 18, something like that. 18 months of really just working on my beliefs in psychology all the time. And that's transformed it. Because the way I look at it is like we were consistently programmed when we were kids by our parents, by society, by school, by whatever it was, by TV. Fuck me, TV, songs, everything. Listen to songs about money. They're so fucking damaging, dangerous. Like they talk about money as being this dirty thing. You're like, oh God, you're keeping money away from you by saying that. Money's lovely, enjoy it, love it. You say it's dirty, you're saying, oh, get away from me. How are you expecting money to come to you? It's understanding how our words and how we speak to ourselves about money, about everything. Like someone said it to me, spelling. It's like, oh, spells, like words are spells. If you think of it that way. So how we speak actually just reaffirms stuff in our beliefs, or it creates stuff in this world. We're connected to our thoughts and how we speak about things. So since I've done all this work on the psychology and beliefs, the way I speak about myself and things has changed as well. It's so interesting. I don't beat myself up anymore. I used to beat myself up something chronic. I'm like, why do you do that, you dickhead? Well, it's like, that's not very nice to myself, is it?
No, it's great. The slides are great. The origin, some of the things I'm kind of looking at. Certainly helpful for me.
Cool. Well, yeah, I just keep going. As long as people keep coming, I'll keep doing it.
Yeah.
Because it's a bit of fun, isn't it? And it's for me going through it, I'm learning as well, to be honest. Going back over, it's like, I forgot about that.
And do you think when you went like full time doing this, that was the kind of, it all kind of started coming together? Was that the?
Yeah, think of it. It had to, because I changed my energy. For me doing it full time, I was a full-time stock trader. I wasn't a builder anymore. I was like, I'm doing this full time. So I think of that. Well, I changed my energy. I was now a full-time trader. Once I was fanny about in between, I wasn't anything. And the more I'm learning about all this stuff, we're 99.9% energy, basically. It's all about our energy, eh? What energy are we putting out there? Do you know what I mean? We have to, if you want to be a stock trader, you have to be a stock trader. Give up fucking oil and gas, because at the minute you're still an engineer.
Yeah, I know it's oil and gas as well. You know our thoughts on oil and gas, but
yeah. But think of it in this way: and I realised this with me. I was doing the oil and gas stuff, cool, the money was good, but I was killing myself doing that because it actually wasn't what my heart wanted me to do. And to be honest, doing stocks and shares isn't what my heart wants me to do. If I was doing that full time, just looking at stocks and shares, I'd be killing myself. But now I can use stocks and shares to teach people, or to help the homeless, or to do what I want. I can now use it for something different. I can use the money I've made to help people.
Mm-hmm.
And that lights me up. It makes me excited. It makes my heart sing. So I never thought that when I got into stock trading that I was gonna go on this fucking weird, wonderful journey with it. But I don't know where the fuck it's going, but it's going somewhere funny.
And you've had a lot more freedom from doing this, haven't you?
Fucking hell. So much more freedom, more money, the more I followed my heart. Like, I don't have to pay tax anymore because it's tax free. I probably make as much as I did when I was in Aberdeen at the minute. I think I made 125 grand this year already.
Nice.
And I don't have to pay tax on it. That's cool, isn't it? And once every trade becomes profitable, which it will, then it's like, oh, I'm just connected to the biggest abundant fucking money pit in the world. Oh, cool. What do I want to do? I want to help people with it. All right, I just tap into it. And then that makes life cool and fun then, doesn't it? Because it's like, oh, cool, I can share my experience with people and how I look at the world with people and help homeless people who are fucking just abandoned and lost or whoever it's going to be. Maybe it's someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it is just a big game, isn't it? Like just thinking of it as well.
Honestly, Darren, the more the more my awareness is in, I'm like, oh, it's a bigger game than I even thought. I don't know what's real. But that's more fun. But think of it this way. So this made me see it for what it was. It's like when I realized that the outside, this external environment that I see, that is the mirror image of what's going on internally. And I was like, oh, there was a lot of mess going on internally that I used to hide, which I wasn't aware of. The more I've cleared that and made it nice and what's the word? Not messy, but more love in there. And it's more just coherent. Then the outside has just become more coherent and it's more fun, it's more loving and playful. And it was messy because my childhood was fucking messy, eh? Of course it was messy inside. And it's an interesting thing because we all got, as kids, we have to believe that our parents are fucking amazing. They're God. So we create this imaginary childhood that was amazing. When you actually look at it, it's like, oh, it was actually a bit fucking messy. But we need to, like, for me, accepting that, oh, it was fucking messy. Fuck, of course. Oh, shit, it was messy in here. Cool, I got to clean it up and sort that out. Then it's like, oh, outside's fucking nice now. I can do what I fucking want.
Oh, great, George. I'm glad it's all going good.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun. And yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah, thank you, George, for sharing all this information.
No worries. If you're keen for next week, I'd show you some more.
Yeah, of course, I will join.
Yeah, nice, cool. Well, I just get deeper into it.
Same time,
same place. I want to get deeper into like position sizing and the risk management is so important as well, eh? So and then we look at actually at some point as well. We'll just look at stuff. We get ideas and like try and buy.
Can you also
shit.
share this slides for us?
Yeah, definitely. Because you're on it. I share the slides from this week and last week.
Yeah, of course, it would be nice.
Yeah, no, that'd be wicked. Yeah, I forward them on to you. And then at one point, we just start doing some live trading, eh? And see if we can find some shit. And I show you how I would buy it and how I would sell it.
I found a platform in Germany here. It's financials.net.
Cool. Yeah, and like I said, I can show you how I use IG as well, if it helps. If you want, like, to be fair, that's all I use now. I've probably got a bit like a farmer, and I'm stuck just using one platform, but it fucking works. Eh? I found it really easy now.
Yeah, if you have all the things that you can trade there, because in Germany it's somehow difficult to trade cryptos. You need special platforms for that.
Yeah, it's the same. I need to become professional, which is going to be soon, and then I can trade them, which would be nice. But then there's only about 10 or 15 I can trade anyway, and I don't know. I'm on a WhatsApp group with all this crypto stuff, and it's like what the fuck is going on with cryptos? There's loads of weird shit going on. People are farming chickens and eggs and like, what on earth? There's a lot of game. It's interesting. There's a lot of gaming stuff getting involved with it, isn't it? It's funny. It's interesting.
Yeah, but lots of countries are now forbidding crypto mining because of the power consumption.
Yeah, I bet they're not in China.
In China, they stopped Bitcoin.
They stopped it?
Yeah, they want to investigate into a known cryptocurrency.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, to be fair, they'll probably make their own up, won't they?
There was a point where Bitcoin dropped over 12,000.
Yeah, I don't like the look of Bitcoin at the minute, to be honest. I don't like the look of the chart. It looks a bit head and shouldery to me.
Mm-hmm.
See, would you need to ever go into crypto if you can kind of just got regular shares?
Well, think of it this way. This is why I'm not too bothered about it. If the way I see it now, once I've cleared all my crap, I've got my beliefs, how I want my beliefs to be. I found my subconscious beliefs. I realized there was a lot of nonsense going on, changed them to what I want. And now, so if I'm in this abundant place, this abundant earth world where I attract wealth, it doesn't matter what it is then, does it? It could be fucking pineapples for all I fucking care. It just come to me. And I don't have to work for it. It just comes. I know it's probably hard. What I'm saying, it's probably hard. You're like, what the fuck are you on about? But honestly, it's like my view was like, I've got to really work hard for money. Money's a struggle. I really got. It was really hard. And now I was in such a lack mindset, and now I've changed my mindset to abundance. And over here, it's like, fucking hell. Look at everything. It's wicked. And it's so fucking cool. It's like there's so much for everyone. There's so much time. There's so much love. There's so much wealth. There's so much whatever it is. We just have to be open to it and see it. It doesn't work how we've been taught it works at school. It works completely differently. And once we see things happen on a different scale, like the quantum physics, once we understand quantum physics, it's like, oh, that's how it works. Okay, I'm going to play with quantum physics. It's more fun.
Have you got more plans to go travel and do?
Yeah, so I'm off to Sweden in April and May to do the Tantra therapist course out there. So I'm going to do a bit of that, and I think I'll go back to Mexico at some point to do another Joe Dispenza thing. I don't know, really. Whatever comes up, isn't it?
Joe Dispenza is in August in UK, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in August in the UK. Do you come to that, Darren?
Okay.
Yeah, you'd.
It's about him. Yeah.
It's meditating, but it's super interesting. Nico, did you go to the last one?
I want to try in August with Maybeth.
Yeah, okay, cool. So you didn't go to the one in Cancun?
Not yet, because I need to find a new company where I want to work at, and in the first 6 months it's difficult to get on vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, yeah, so you'll go to the one in August. Yeah, like it's interesting stuff down this all this stuff is, like I said, it's changed my life really doing it. I'm so grateful for it. It's been
Taru shared all this material from his courses online, so you can download it from his Google Drive.
Oh, what's that?
All the meditations from Dr. Joe Dispenza. Taru shared it in his Google Drive, and he shared the link.
Yeah, cool. I've got a shitload of them as well.
You can just have to write him an email.
Who had it? Oh, Tarush.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. He's got loads as well. Now I've ended up with shitloads of them. I already had a link. I think I've got a lot of them.
Yeah. Just give it a try. It's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, come along in August, Darren, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, let's meet all together again.
And go into the quantum field and
create abundance for us all.
Yeah, do some weird shit. I want to leave my body. That's my next plan. My next thing is I want to leave my body. I did
out of body experience, or
yeah, I did some lucid dreaming, but I'm like, oh fuck off! I want to leave my body and like fly around the world.
yeah, then do it.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
You can try it with 369 code music from Nikola Tesla. That's a great.
Oh, does that help?
That helps, yeah, of course. It's binaural music, if you have heard that.
Yeah.
Because you need to reach your brain with very low frequencies, and you can do this only with binaural beats. So you can try on YouTube. There are some channels who are covering this. And there are different frequencies to reach your heart or reaching your mind. And 369 is a magic healing frequency.
Okay, 369. Right, I remember that.
What is it? Sorry.
Oh, there's a frequencies. Basically, we're like, think of this way. I've only learned this recently, is that like all our emotions, because we're energy, we're basically just frequency, and all our emotions, the emotions we're running around with are on different frequencies. So if you're in, I didn't realize this, but lust is like the lowest frequency. And then you've got bliss and love is like really high frequency. So think of this, if you're going around in lust, it's quite a heavy, slow frequency, and you're in survival. But if you're in love and you're in bliss and you're going around this high frequency, then you're in growth, you're open to the world, and you're creating.
Yeah. I shared the link on the chat. You can just hit it.
All right, cool. It's all about getting back to creating and getting out of survival and going to creation, basically.
Okay.
And if you use this for meditation, you really get this out of body experience. I tried it once and I had like 5 minutes of out of body experience. This was amazing.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Cool. I doubt they're saying this in the office, Darren, are they?
I'm not in the office, but yeah.
No, but you know what I mean. Where are you working at the minute?
Well, I don't want to say.
Looks like a kitchen or something like this.
Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Just in the flat. Yeah. So.
Where are you at the minute?
Yeah. Better than the toilet.
No. In the flat in the centre of Aberdeen. Remember where you were, George, when you were doing good with the original Tesla?
Yeah.
Just there.
Yeah. Are you're going to get a house? Are you going to move out?
Yeah, so we're staying out in the side just now. So
but you're just at the flat at the minute?
Yeah, just peace and quiet.
Yeah, okay. Are you not renting it out?
Well, that's the plan.
Okay.
Maybe some Airbnb or just get it leased out. Yeah. Hopefully sort that soon.
Yeah, cool.
But no, cheers. Cheers, George. It was good.
No worries. It's my pleasure. I better do the end screen. There we go.